Nissan QASHQAI, lack of power, engine management light on, and a whooshing noise, bit noise from the engine. Not a bad fix. It's quite a simple fault, but it's going to give you a lot of problems. The air intake pipe from the turbo to the manifold, it's made of a real cheap, nasty plastic. It's almost like a Baker-like plastic, and they just fracture right on the joint and crack. We're going to do a nice fix on it to get us by, but that pipe we'll change it for another one at a later date. But let's bond it back together and fix this car up. And looking under the bonnet, we've got a lot of this residue around here, and basically what we've got is the turbo pressure coming up the turbo pipe has fractured this joint. You can see that it's cracked it all the way around there. So ideally this pipe needs replacing, but what we're going to do just in the short term, because we're going to have to order one of these, is to bond this back together again and refit it. So that's the dodgy part, and then it's broken, which we should be able to seal back together again. Okay, so to get that off, you just pop that clip up there, pull that up, and then slide the whole thing off. And there it is, that's the other half of the problem. So once we've cleaned these faces up, we can just get them lined up where they need to be. There it is. That's where we've got to go, just to that point there. So if I mark that, just so I know where we are with that. Oops, if I mark that there, so that there is in line. With that there, then I know for sure now when I've cleaned that where to put it back. So I've got some carb cleaner. Just need to get this oily, the oily residue off the surface so that the glue will stick to start with. Again on the other side, the same of that. Okay, so the first part of this is the trusty old super glue. Let's get some of this around here. And then where we line that up with that mark there. And there it is, let's let that go off. Get that a good press together. Just leave that for a few seconds to go off. So what we can do now is really beef this up by binding and clamping this part together. So to start with, I've got this stuff, it's called Kraken tape, and it's a flexible silicone sealant with a reinforced strip down it. So let's just crack a bit of that off to start with. When you're applying this, you have to stretch it, so it's got like, you peel the outer off, it self-amalgamates, so it sticks to itself. So if we get that unit and we start it there, and you stretch it on. Oh, it's a bit fiddly. Once you get it started though, it's great. So let's just get it, let's make a start on it, get it round on itself, and then it will start to stick to itself. Like that. And then we'll just keep that rotating. And there we go. So that now has got hold of that, and what we'll do is use some even stronger reinforcing tape over the top of that now. So that looks pretty good. That's really got hold of that. Yeah, looks good. Now I'm tempted to put a couple of Jubilee clips around there as well to really lock all that together. Let's whiz that up. Right, so that's one on the bottom there, and if I can get the other one around the top half of it, then even better. I'll just stop it separating. There, like that. Beautiful. So that's really got that now. Let's stick that back on again. Then we push that clip down there, which locks it all back in place again. We'll pop the 10mm bolt back on the top of that. Put the clip back in there. Pop that back down into there. Jubilee clip up on the bottom. There we have it. Good as gold. So we're all bonded back together. Great job. It's working really well, holding nice and tight. Now you can either use epoxy resin round there, which will be a permanent repair if you can get a real good epoxy resin around it to bond it all together, or you can buy a new pipe from the dealers. Just order one in. this is getting really common. It's a much more common fault now. I've seen quite a few of these break, so it's one to look out for. If that's been of any use to you, drop me a comment, like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.